And of course, let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Yes, 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 folks. We are back with you. It's In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 6. Let me just let that get this out of the way. Let me get this out of the way. You're listening to WZYE. Of course, we got to get that out of the way. So, of course, it's In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And, of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's a new time, ladies and gentlemen, 7 to 9 p.m. And, of course, when we say the Dark Triplet, it's Diana, Ansem, and Gary. And sometimes we have a person we call the outside child who are locked and listening to us. But, folks, we have some serious business to talk tonight. Tonight, we have some serious business. And one of these serious business is the vaccine scandal in Trinidad and Tobago. Or should I say, the misleading information that was put out with respect to the vaccine. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. And you would be surprised when we get to that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring in Diana 𝗪𝗏𝗵𝗏 the Storm. Diana, welcome.
Good afternoon, listeners, wherever you are in the world. I'm anxious to hear about this vaccine scandal. I missed that one, Anselm.
Yeah, boy. A big vaccine scandal in Trinidad and Tobago. It seemed that certain people in Trinidad does mix things up, put more in the pot than the kettle. Let me say welcome to Steve Chuni Lopez out in Orlando, Florida. Welcome, my friend. You're locked in early tonight. Yeah, sometimes people just kind of misconstrue information, willfully misconstrue information. And tonight, we're going to address that. And listener, we're going to address it with facts, and we're going to address it with some videos as well. When you come into the village, we don't play them kind of thing where we just come and we talk, right? We like to give you the facts. You may not like it. You may not like the facts. But, hey, listen, the facts is the facts.
Your phone blinging already, man.
Yeah, boy, like somebody vexed me, boy. Somebody vexed me already. Let me bring in the Phantom one time, and the Phantom you're inside, boy. Phantom you're inside.
What's up, family?
Yeah, we good, boy.
Hey, Dada looking nice, boy. Woo!
Yeah, I wait till you come in to say that. I want to.
I tried to say it a few times last time, but we was interrupted, But I make sure I pay my respects this time.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, but Gary, what we want to get to tonight, I mean, our thing is about exile and stranded citizens, but I find that it too much times, boy, information coming out from the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the current government of Trinidad and Tobago, is somewhat misleading. And I think we have to stop this, man. We have to be transparent to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, because there are people like me out there who, when you tell me A, I want to say, boy, is that really A? And I tell people, I tell them, I say, all you Google the thing. Don't just take what they tell all you, Google it and find out for yourself.
Right? See, and we was raised in a way, when we had good leadership in Trinidad somewhere, that we listened to the leaders and never really follow up to, or bother to look into it deeper. Our minds are basically conditioned to look up and respect to these people. But we have a leadership for the last 6 years that, it's like a very, like a raging dictatorship, boy. Like how Mr. Manning said, a raging bull. This prime minister, you can't question him in what he said. He's very arrogant. And a lot of times I think he's been misled by his advisors. And, I blame him to a certain point. But I also strongly believe that he's been fed the wrong information. himself. You know, so I don't think he's researching anything. You know, these. I mean, look, we went into Iraq on wrong information. Okay, and these leaders, you know, as much as Dr. Rowley has his fault, I strongly believe that those around him is feeding wrong information.
Well, Gary, I hear you, Gary, but the buck stops with you as the leader.
Yeah, no, I blame him. Quite a bit. But at the same time, I strongly believe that the Prime Minister is being fed inaccurate information. And there's something seriously wrong with the dissemination of information also, as you see. I mean, Donna Cox picked up a kind of, and made things a little bit better with the flow of information. But since she has moved from there, I mean, you know, you're seeing her fall down. And, you know.
I forget, I thought I was Stuart Young. I thought this was
so while I strongly hold the Prime Minister responsible, I also believe that he's been fed inaccurate information.
Okay,
but they're also peddling in fear.
Let me just do a little superlatives here. Cindy J, we want to welcome you. See lockdown all the way in Texas. And Ňevíla, welcome. I think this is the first time you're actually locked on. So Ňevíla, let's say a special welcome to you, and thank you for joining us. Cindy, Steve, Trini Lopez, and Ňevíla, we thank you so very kindly for joining us. Go ahead, Diana.
Yeah, I think they're peddling fear. So when you have people in that position, they're gullible to anything, you know, they're fair, anything, so they can come with whatever, and like, oh yeah, you know, so that's what's going.
You see what happened in India? All they want to be like that. You know, leave
yes, yeah.
right there. You know,
yeah.
But this has been fear mongering from day one, and you know that is what caused me to go against them very aggressively. You know. Where at the point I really wanted to see this government out of office because I realized what they were doing, and to see how harsh they was towards Mrs. Pantin and the others. You know, like I said, you crying out to your government for help, and they come and slap you around and make a mockery out of you. This is totally unacceptable. I could never forgive and forget that answer, and we've seen it again and again. You know, it's like I have to keep pressuring them to respond to our people consistently. I mean, this one father died, this happened there, this one has a medical condition. You know, I have to be consistently advocating on these people's behalf. You know, and with this government,
and then
really annoying. You know.
And then Minister Hines are referring to them as little people and the situations as an inconvenience. And then he gets today on the thing giving a disaster preparedness a video. Yeah. And then he's calling them he fellow the same people he refers to as little people, small people. He is addressing those same people as fellow citizens. So I'm like, you know, are they small people or are they fellow citizens? You know how you're talking on the one side of your mouth yesterday, now all of a sudden they're fellow citizens, and you know, you're trying to prepare them for disaster preparedness, and hear their mantra: disaster preparedness starts with you. Let's start together. Oh yeah, let's start together. Meanwhile, you have the same people locked out of the country, right? Let's start together.
I want to update you on this disaster preparation. It was 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗏 who was pushing that agenda with the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Ask answer know about it. Okay? And I was trying to mobilize and encourage the government, and I brought some help for them that they refused to accept. I've been working with Captain Wen. I was also communicating with General Smart. But you know, the way things operating in Trinidad, even though these guys wanted to do anything they were locked down by the cabinet, that they could not accept or move with any kind of help. They took some ideas, but all this disaster preparation thing is I who've been pushing it when I saw how unorganized they were with Brett. And then the second year came around and something similar to that happened. And they were still unorganized and unprepared. I've been telling the government of Trinidad and Tobago to let us organize our community to help themselves. In fact, former MP who is working as an administrator for me now with this group, Christine Hussein, who was here, she came to the United States and met some of those people that I had arranged, for them to meet, So this whole disaster preparation thing is all something I've been pushing for.
Yep. And
Gary.
Go ahead, Lance.
Go ahead, Anna. No, go ahead.
And going back to the video, Minister Hines, the wordsmith that he is, says that he's putting people first. Let's put people first, nurturing our greatest asset. Now, how are you putting people first in disaster preparedness? But your citizens are stranded, right? Your citizens are stranded.
You ever got this cruise by? You ever got this cruise by? Yes?
How are you putting
maybe
people?
He's learning from us. Maybe he's picking
How are
you putting people first? And citizens are stranded, can't get home to bury their loved ones, getting home after their loved ones are already dead and buried. How are you putting people first, Minister Hines? That kind of, what my little nephew would say, a confuffle. I'm discombobulated, if that is a word. How are you putting people first, Minister Hines? And that's your mantra for disaster prepare. Right now, stranded citizens is a disaster. How about that?
Listen,
How about
not just a disaster. It could be considered a pandemic too.
The government handling is the disaster, not the stranded citizen. The government
it's a disaster.
They constructed a disaster.
Well, Gary and Diana, the government of Trinidad and Tobago have been an abysmal failure with handling this pandemic. And people could talk about when they was ranked by Oxford. All right, they were ranked by Oxford, but there's no way you start, it's where you end up. What is where we ended up?
Oxford,
the government has
made
been
a decision on inaccurate information. Oxford made a decision on inaccurate information. If they had the facts, they would not have said that.
But Gary, let me go to this, sir. Let me segue into this, sir. And the audacity, and this is what, boy, I can't take when people start to try to mislead and deceive people. Because my mother-in-law always tell me, a liar has no memory. And I can't take when people are standing there, boy, and willfully trying to mislead the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And I tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm going to send all you again, all you please, whenever they tell all you anything, go to Google and Google it. Google it. Don't care if you're supporting the UNC. If Mrs. Kamla Prasad tell you something, Google it. If Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley tell you something, Google it. Put your mind into about critical thinking. And with that in mind, I want you guys to listen to this. Listen to this one. Listen to this. I want you guys to listen carefully. Listen to this.
Even what was available by commitment, by contracted arrangements, are not available because the suppliers have been literally dominated and controlled by a very few people. And what is worse, the simple matter you would have heard last week, that the Americans who have largely been in charge of the vaccine production, the largest influencer in the world, they made a statement last week saying that vaccines will be distributed in the very near future, AstraZeneca vaccines, because they're not going to use it, and therefore whatever they had under their control, I think the figure of 60 million units, something like that, would be available. It is not that they had 60 million units in a warehouse somewhere just to deliver. It is that they controlled the production of it. But whatever they had in hand, we thought, well, maybe that will be available for delivery. This morning we got probably the worst news we could have had on that, because we began to think that another possible source was going to be available to us. this morning, the news was that something happened in the United States, in Baltimore, where the production of AstraZeneca was being done. And when the statements were being made that the American government is trying to ensure the safety of the vaccine that would become available for distribution, the AstraZeneca vaccine, the initial thought was that had to do with the expiration date, because no, these vaccines have an expiration date. And if they were holding them too long, they will be getting close to the expiration date. And the thought was that they wanted to make sure that that was not the problem. What we discovered today, that is not the problem at all, is that the examination at the factory where it is being produced, confirmation still to come, is that there were contaminations of virus 1 with vaccine 1 with vaccine 2. And the outcome of that is to have made the availability of vaccines from that supplier unacceptable until further notice and further checks. So that has now put another damper on the possibilities that we were anticipating. Because I don't know what the outcome of that's going to be, but that is today's report. It's not a good report for us, because we were literally anticipating if there was going to be this distribution of 60 million units, somewhere along the line, we would have been somewhere there. And we still expect to be there, whatever. But if that scientific piece of information is confirmed, as the news is attempting to do, then it's not good news for us.
Well, let me confirm that information for Dr. Rowley. Yeah? Dr. Rowley,
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You misled the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That factory has absolutely nothing to do with 60 million worth of vaccine. Listen to this. Let me go to CNBC now. Eh? This is from 3 weeks ago now. Eh? This is CNBC. Eh? I don't make stuff up. Let me go to CNBC now. Eh? And not only that, that company manufacturing Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It's the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Eh? By the way, do you have any Johnson & Johnson vaccine in Trinidad? Do you have any Johnson & Johnson? I just asking. Anybody in the chat? Please let me know.
Have baby oil. They might have baby oil or powder, but I don't know.
Johnson & Johnson. Oh, now listen to CNBC now. Eh? And this is from 3 weeks ago. Eh? Listen to this.
And so after what seemed like a mix-up of the two vaccines that were being manufactured there at Emergent BioSolutions plant, the J&J vaccine and the AstraZeneca vaccine, although that's being denied by Emergent, now the plan is only going to make Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, and in fact, J&J is going to assume full responsibility of the manufacturing of the vaccine at that facility. Now, AstraZeneca is going to relocate production of its vaccine from that facility. This facility had not yet been authorized by the FDA to release any doses, so this does not affect any of the doses from Johnson & Johnson that are currently out there. This would be for future supply of this vaccine. And we asked Emergent BioSolutions CEO Bob Kramer last week if this will affect the timing of the FDA giving the green light to the plant. Here's what he said.
I don't expect a significant delay. We are working very collaboratively with FDA and with J&J to make sure that the FDA has all of the information they need to make that determination.
Now, guys, Johnson & Johnson is saying it delivered the 20 million doses that it had planned to the U.S. government in March. You can see there the stocks of both of these companies not moving too much right now. J&J says it still plans to deliver up to 100 million doses by the end of May. So they're planning on straightening these problems out. And of course, guys, they're also partnering with Merck here to work on this vaccine. Back over to you.
Yeah, Meg. I mean, 100 million doses.
All here? All here? But not only that, let me go now to a newspaper article on the 6th of April. Right? And it was updated. Here's the article. The article is in the New York Times. All right? And if you all want to get these articles, go on to WZYE FM Facebook page and we'll have all these articles there. Right? It says, more than 8 years ago, the federal government invested in an insurance policy against vaccine shortage during a pandemic. It paid Emergent BioSolutions, a Maryland biotech firm, known for producing anthrax vaccines, to have a factory in Baltimore always at the ready. When the coronavirus pandemic arrived, the factory became the main location for manufacturing COVID-19 vaccines developed by Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca, churning out about 150 million doses as of last week. But listen to this. And this is an article April 6th there earlier. April 6th there. But so far, not a single dose has been usable because regulators have not yet certified the factory to allow the vaccine to be distributed to the public. Last week, Emergent said it will destroy up to 15 million doses worth of Johnson & Johnson vaccine after contamination with AstraZeneca vaccine was discovered. That was way back in April. Way in April, Emergent and government health officials have long touted their partnership as a success, but an examination by the New York Times of manufacturing practices at the Baltimore facility found serious problems, including a corporate culture that often ignored or deflected missteps, and a government sponsor, the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, that acted more as a partner than a policeman. Right? Listen to this. The loss of Johnson & Johnson doses was not the first time the company threw out coronavirus vaccine for the fear of contamination. Listen to this, all you listen. Google, not the Google on 91.9. Listen, between early October and January, Emergent discarded 5 lots of AstraZeneca vaccine, each the equivalent of 2 to 3 million doses, because of contamination of suspected contamination, according to internal logs, a government official and a former company supervisor. Right? So when you hear the Prime Minister talk about 60 million and Trinidad now behind the 8 ball because they was getting part of the 60 million, he lied. He blatantly lied. Right? Oh no, look at it for yourself. Go on CNBC. Look at what he said. It's a lie. Why is Dr. Rowley lying to the people of Trinidad like that? It's unacceptable, and I will not stand for that. I will never stand for that. You're misleading the people of Trinidad and Tobago. What? Thinking about, no, that was contamination. Contamination was since last year. Last year. And they only update the article. And you coming and telling people about, oh, now they're contaminated. Now they're contaminated. Right? Now they're contaminated. We don't know where we go get from. I know the people watching I go think, well, boy, Dr. Rowley is our boss. You went and looked for vaccine, and now the 60 million, it gets contaminated, so Trinidad and Tobago can't get another 60 million now. Oh God, man, oh God. Stop the lying, man. We're lying like that for. You don't have to. Tell the people the truth. Be transparent to the people. Tell the people in that factory, 50 million doses was Johnson & Johnson. All ever hear saying about Johnson & Johnson? Did he say anything? He said vaccine 1 and vaccine 2. And if that fella had read the article, right? Or if he had done a little homework, he would have figured it out for himself.
But he could have called you, answer him, and then you would have given him the truth. If he wasn't sure.
But listen, I will tell you the truth. That took me less than 10 minutes to do. Less than 10 minutes, I figured it out. And when I go through the article, I said, but wait now, boy. And I sent it, I sent it to some people. I said, boss, I want you to look at this, because sometimes when I don't take my pill, I just go off. Right? If I take my pill, I just misspeak and all kind of thing. I said, read that for me now. And then listen to what the Prime Minister say. And tell me if it adds up now. Partner, tell me, boy, and Slim boy, I saw you to tell you, it don't add up, It don't add up. It don't add up. And what? I put it on Facebook. And look. Anyway, let me welcome some people.
All this information is in the public domain. But
In the public domain,
the
made that up.
have rejected the AstraZeneca vaccine, basically. All right? You can't dish out anything you damn well please on the American public. that there are certain things in place. There's certain checks and balance in place to examine everything that's going to be dished out to the public here.
Fact check. Fact
Yeah.
check. Gary, it is one thing I have to say, boy. I am happy that I worked 23 years at the New York Stock Exchange. It has taught me how to not take any information for granted. You understand? It has taught me how to do that. Let me say a special welcome. Novila says, nope, no J&J vaccine as yet. Zoe Mohammed, welcome Zoe Mohammed. I think Zoe might be locked on for the first time.
That's Orisha. That's Orisha. That's Orisha.
Oh, that's Zorisha.
Yeah.
Zorisha like she has 25 names, boy. Zorisha, how much name you have? How much name you have? And Takisha, welcome. You know what Takisha says? And my mother-in-law tell me this 33 years ago before I get married. A liar has no memory. And I want all to go for yourself. Go up on WZYE FM Facebook page. We have the articles up there, right? The articles from the New York Times from the 6th, and the article was updated on April the 30th. Way back last year, they talk about contamination. That 60 million doses had nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with what other other countries getting. And I have another article to read for you too. Boy, it'll be so much, because I just want them fellas and them to start to be transparent and stop trying to mislead the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
They're misleading people, the population, to their fancy because it's convenient for them. They don't want to put the things in place, because if they don't serve that misled information, right, they would have to work harder to prepare the country and put certain things in place. They have refused to expand the quarantine resources. A simple thing as that, right? That where we could transition our people. They have acted like all of our people outside here are infected by COVID. Okay, and this is all propaganda. Okay, so I mean, why is the government hesitating to expand the quarantine services? Why is the government forcing our students in Barbados and our struggling citizens into paid quarantine for a country where they have their own home? And we have so many secondary schools that are not being utilized at this present time. We have so many buildings that can be utilized. Why is the government forcing our people to pay for quarantine? Who is benefiting? Who is benefiting from these contracts with servicing the quarantine facilities? We have to get some information on that. That's what we need.
But Gary,
you know what go ahead, answer.
Let me just finish this. And here's another article in the New York Times, and I'm just quoting from it. Insisting that American comes first, the president has so far refused to make any concrete commitment to give away American-made vaccines, even as tens of millions of doses of vaccine made by British-Swedish company AstraZeneca sit idly in American manufacturing facilities. If we have a surplus, we're going to share it with the rest of the world. Mr. Biden said this week, Adam, we are going to start off making sure Americans are taken care of first, but we are then going to try and help the rest of the world. Look, listen, Gary, Diana, this government have to start being transparent with the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And stop trying to, go ahead, Diana.
You know what I feel should start happening, Anselm? I think, because they're getting too comfortable, right? When they, you re-elect them and you put them there. I feel they should, anytime you get elected, you should only be given one term. And the people should vote them out. Just put somebody in there, vote them out, or whether you do good or bad, vote them out. Put somebody else in there, vote them out. So that way, that's just a suggestion to transform the political landscape. Because hear my point, Ansem. Hear my point. When they get too comfortable, they become lackadaisical, and they think, they go and took the finger in the ink. We go get away with it. If they just try that for maybe 2 or 3 terms and see, and keep them on their toes, Keep them on their toes. That's what that maybe see if that would work. Okay, you did good this time. Okay, no, you go. Let's try somebody else. Do it for 3-4 terms. See if that will work. And that way you will root out the corruption too in the system.
I think
That's what I feel. That's just a suggestion from me.
Yeah.
Somebody brought it to me and I'm airing it or bringing it forth.
But the thing about it, go ahead, answer. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gary. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying to you, the PNM has been in government for so long. All right, this is what I experienced in the last government. That even though you change the government, they have their people in place to complicate things for you, no matter how hard you're trying. So there has to, like, so for instance, like the permanent secretaries in certain different ministries, their loyalty is because that party has been there so long that no matter if a new party coming in, they're giving them hell. There was a lot of hell for the Mrs. 𝗶𝗍 administration. They had a very hard time in getting things done. It wasn't easy. It was pulling teeth. There was a lot of battles to get these people to follow suit. So, changing the government, we need some kind of structural change, because just changing the party and everybody, all the servants in place, still loyal to the other party, is making life miserable for the government that comes into power. So you really cannot accomplish as much as you want to. It is real hell.
But if they became sitting there and they become comfortable, then their measures, maybe some other person, a party come in and the constituents get a say in what is going on. You root out these, it's something gotta give, because it can't keep going on this way. It just can't go on this way, man.
There was a lot of bullying for money and stuff like that. The gangs who was under the PNM. I mean, it was like you had to compensate them as they made threats. What do you think all these threats was about against Mrs. 𝗶𝗍 and all this stuff like that? People wanted to make sure that their cookie is in the jar, and then they will let you pass. Otherwise, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of threats. A lot of bullying from the underworld.
So it's fair. Yeah, they're ruling by fair.
But Gary and Diana, let me ask a simple question. The P1 strain, the Brazilian strain, can only come from Brazil. Okay? And due to the geographical location of Venezuela to Brazil, right? There's a great possibility that a Venezuelan bring the thing in, because Brazilian really don't want to come to Trinidad, right?
Nope.
No.
Is that Trinidadian who went to Brazil and come back?
Yeah. Or Trinidadian who come from the United Kingdom.
Trinidadian was misbehaving and went to Venezuela and come back.
Right. So Gary, why you as a government have to come out and say you don't think the Brazilian strain come from a Venezuelan? You ain't sure, right? When 𝗏𝗏 and the Minister of Health come out and say, well, we can't say that it's a Venezuelan, and then a day later, or maybe 24 hours later, they come out and say, yeah, it's a Venezuelan.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, come on, man. What is the transparent and tell the people a Venezuelan bring it in? It don't come in already. If it come in already, what are we going to do about it now? All you have to do is try and protect the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because they don't knock out all the people in foreign already. They can't bring in nothing. As a matter of fact, them could actually come back, because them strain they have, that strain is a better strain than the P1 strain.
Yeah, you once you're vaccinated, you're able to suppress your immune system against this one. That's what they said.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right, 𝗏𝗏. The first case was actually a non-national, also known as a Venezuelan. Absolutely correct.
I have nothing against the Venezuelan people because they are in distress. What I have against our government is for letting them flow across our border unchecked. All right. In the meantime, where our citizens are being banned from entering their country where they have the right to return there. Okay?
Yep.
I mean, bring our people home, take our people first. There's no commitment by our government to our people. We have to keep fighting with our government for our own people. And this is totally unacceptable.
But Gary and Diana, many of us, other than maybe Philip Edward Alexander, didn't wish. Well, no, I'm not sure about it. Many of us wanted the Prime Minister to have a speedy recovery. Yeah? And when he come out, when he tests negative, many people were happy that he tests negative. And we thought that when he come back out, he will be more compassionate man in seeing that, you know, sometimes you gotta see things before your eyes, boy. And that man first press conference is to be wicked and evil to poor people in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. To lock down the country. Eh? You ain't even give me 24 hours notice. Give me a 48 hours notice now and tell me what. All you are coming with a vengeance. Are coming to lock down the country. You understand?
Well,
you just
Anselm,
you just go get up.
In his defense, perhaps his experience in quarantine, realize how serious this disease is, he decide, well, I'm gonna lock it down. I know that's not my opinion, eh? Perhaps that I'm just saying. Perhaps his experience in quarantine realizes how serious the disease is, and he's saying, my God, we don't have the infrastructure, the health infrastructure to handle this thing if it gets out of control. Maybe you have to look at it that way too.
What?
So how you people suppose no funding is put in place by the government? No
funding.
Diana.
Maybe that you know, me as a poet, I just look at thing, you know, my head screw on backward, you know. So yeah,
but that thing was so good. They took 𝗪𝗻𝗲 hospital off, right? They took 𝗪𝗻𝗲 hospital off,
off the grid. Yeah, I remember that. Yes,
right?
I don't know if it's still off the grid.
Right?
So
when you take 𝗪𝗻𝗲 off the grid, why don't you just bring back home all the citizens and them?
That's right.
You take them off the grid, right? Bring them back home, right? Listen, it would have been better they come home with before the P1 strain came into being, and you deal with that strain. That now you're using another excuse to keep them out of the country. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. I had to tell I want to write a new song.
I told the man that in a message back in June of last year. I say it's better to get our people. It's more sensible to get our people out so that because you don't want to import. It's a greater chance if you leave them there of importing infection. Get our people out quickly from the danger zone. That was my advice to the Prime Minister.
But Gary and Diana, Gary, what is the government solution with respect to COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago? What is the solution?
I read where they said they have 3,000 new cases the other day, and Anselm, I don't know. All they told
Gary,
me was,
what's the solution?
Lock your people outside and let them die out there.
That's it. Lock them out and shut down the country. Shut down all the businesses. And you know, they're already disenfranchising, according to my boy Adrian, Cyril children, you know, trying to make a living. Those are the 99% who, you know, can't go and stand up in front of the 1% to try to make a living. But they're beautifying 𝗪𝗏𝗪 Avenue, but nobody is looking at Laventille Road to try to beautify there, to try to make for them to get money, you know. And you're going to further put in more pressure. And also too, I want to make mention, you see where the LATT has come out against him, the Prime Minister, saying that you can't go in people's yard and in their house and tell
Correct
them
is
what to
right.
do. The
Correct
commissioner
is right.
tell them that, you know, that's further putting your knee in the neck of disenfranchisement. If I don't want to wear a mask in my yard or in my house, you can't come in here and barge in my house and tell and control what's going on in my house. I was very pleased that the LATT, the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago, got involved, because I was wondering, you know, and they want to invoke a 1940 save law, that stupid, archaic, Jurassic law that ties us to the navel string of our oppressor, the king and the queen of England. And you want to march in my house and tell me what? I want to. I was planning to tell them they're marching all the house, everybody strip naked and sit down.
Oh God.
Boy, they might
Strip
stay.
naked and sit
You want
down.
them to stay?
Yeah, look at letter there. Look at letter there,
Yeah.
Law Association had to send them and tell the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, you out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds.
You're out of bounds. Look, no,
Yep.
not only that, look what they had to tell him. Hold on, let me remove that there. Hold on. Right?
Yep.
You're out of bounds.
Yep. Can't
Look,
use that law.
look what they say. They had to tell him that. You're wrong. You are absolutely wrong.
Yep.
Not only that, you're locking down people. Right? People going and starve. And you telling people about police could come in your yard and police could come in your house. What kind of dirtishness is that, boy?
Yep.
What really going on in Trinidad and Tobago, boy?
Because I was expecting police and the people to clash, because you in your house, you in your domicile location, behind your gate, because everybody in Trinidad have a burglar proof, and police want to come and mash down. I was going to strip my clothes and lay down there on the floor naked, and I ain't wearing no mask. I in my house. Yeah.
You know, boy, I just don't understand. I just don't understand why there's so much misleading information. The MRI, right? All remember the MRI, right?
Ain't walking.
It ain't working, but the man
But he went by X-ray.
take an MRI, right?
Yeah.
And on the officer,
you don't get it yet, you know. You don't get it. The MRI for the public is not working, but the MRI for the big
for
shots
he.
working. So there might be a separate MRI there.
And that's us. And listen. The Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago says when you are receiving services from a state facility, the hospital is a state facility. Yes or no? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's supposed to be even across the board. So if he get an MRI, and there's a lady I understand in Tobago who is a cricket icon, wants is in need of an MRI and she can't get it, but Dr. Rowley gets an MRI, that is discrimination there.
Well, then he's the Prime Minister. He could give away.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. Anselm, I don't care. The woman served. Anselm, don't get me started.
He's the Prime Minister. You gotta be able. You have to be. No, there have to be exceptions for the Prime Minister. There has to be. The
but
Prime
this
Minister
woman's
is not an ordinary citizen. He's not ordinary.
What do you mean not all? Anselm, this woman served her country in the capacity of a national cricketer. What do you mean she? What do you mean
I am not talking about that. I'm not talking that she shouldn't get the service. I am just saying that.
Okay. So with the MRI machine that he went and why she can't go and get her MRI?
You know MRI machine. You know MRI machine broke down.
Anselm, don't make me go and drink something else. Yeah.
No, the machine break down. The machine break down.
So they're lying to the public again then.
But I tell you, the machine break down, and they say the man was going to take an MRI, and the machine that was broke down. You see? No, go ahead.
Which is really money it is that
they might have MRI machines in private facilities that is available. There might be the public MRI machine is not available. It's broken down.
But they need to have an MRI in the hospital for the people. And this is why there's this wrangling in Tobago, because Tobago feels like a ward of Trinidad. That is why there's this wrangling and this dissent and the sense of acrimony toward Trinidad. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Well, to my understanding, the PNM holding the Tobagonians by their neck with resources. So if they go against them, they just pull the rope a little tighter. You understand?
And why? And that should not be.
So it's a
Why you
government control thing. You know?
Why you putting your knee in the neck? Or why you oppressing people? You see, we own black people oppressing. We own black people. No, it's not the Queen of England no more. And you're a republic. You have independence. Why are we oppressing our own people? What madness is this?
Diana,
that is why.
It's COVID forced the government to open the Cuba hospital. A state-of-the-art built hospital with all the necessary equipment. The government was refusing to open. Okay? They were forced by COVID to open this.
Look,
okay, they showed no concern for anybody.
Hey, you listen to this one, right?
Tobago only apply to Barbados to become a water Barbados. You'll do better.
You know, I've been listening. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, outside trying to reach.
Yeah, I've been listening patiently and been just churning and waiting and turning up and down. But I'll tell you something. I look at what the Prime Minister had to say in that speech, and his body language told me that he didn't even believe what the hell he was saying. You look at how he was moving up. Just look at that clip again, and just look at his body language, and it tells you that he did not believe what he was saying. He himself did not believe what he was telling the public and telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I am convinced, over and over, I keep saying this, even especially when I had my show called The Caribbean Link, that a solution is imminent for the Caribbean, because anyhow you put these men in charge of an island and they don't have nobody to answer to, they're going to do all kinds of stupid and foolish things. If there was a higher authority, if we had a federal system, we wouldn't be going through this. If we had a Caribbean federal system, we need.
Yeah, but you see the thing about it, the thing with the Caribbean Islands,
no.
The thing with the Caribbean Islands is they were all
hold on 1 minute, Gary. Gary, hold on 1 minute. Omar just checked in. Omar, welcome. Blessed night, my angels. I'm in quarantine. Omar is in Trinidad. I guess she's in quarantine. I'm doing good. Thank you, Mr. Gary, Miss Diana, and Miss Cindy. Oh, let me see that. Thank you, Mr. Gary, Miss Diana, and Miss Cindy, and you, Mr. Handsome. God bless him. Cindy says the MRI machine have COVID. Look, we have a person joining here. And listen, we just pop all the little quotes. We don't care. Horace Stone says a program of idiots. Horace, thank you so very kindly.
He said what? He said what?
Dana, wait. Let me take him on. Let me take it. Horace, a program of idiots. One person is a professor at a major university in the United States of America. The person also has 20 world records. And Horace, I'm going to send you the latest article in Runner's World magazine. That was
welcome,
done.
Horace. Welcome, Horace.
Welcome, Horace. Go ahead, Anselm. Run now. Run it down.
And Horace, one of the idiots have 20 world records in Masters track and field. Another one of the idiots is a world-renowned poet that was just invited to Martha's Vineyard, right? A little young lady from St. Augustine by the way of Barbados. She's a poet, a motivational speaker, a humanitarian.
And a Bachelor of Science working on my master's and my PhD.
Leave that out. Don't put in that. Then we have the Phantom, who is a well-known to thousands and thousands of people in Trinidad and Tobago for his humanitarian effort with respect to exile and stranded citizens, and also many other things internationally. And then we have Tommy, who is a commissioner in Newark, a commissioner on the Caribbean. What is it again, Tommy? The Caribbean. Unmute your mic.
The Caribbean Commission, my brother.
Right, the Caribbean Commission, where is a commissioner. So Horace, thank you so very kindly for that compliment. It takes an idiot to know an idiot. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And welcome.
Welcome to the Idiots Club.
Yeah, welcome to the Idiots Club. We love you, man.
Yay!
Let's Cindy, tell him, man. Horace, welcome, Horace. So nice for you to join us. We love you, Horace. You know, P&M have a song, we love you, so we take great care of you. We want you to come, and we love you, so we're going to take great care of you, Horace.
Is
See,
this
Horace?
Aslam, is this Horace T? Is this Horace T that we know as the runner, the ex-runner?
No. The only thing Horace could do is run him out.
Oh, we are idiots. We went from Anselm, we've been escalated from mischief makers and troublemakers to idiots.
Thank you very kindly, man. We love Horace. We love you. Horace, we're gone. Horace, you're gone.
I can assure Horace that Anselm would have done a 200% better job running Trinidad and Tobago than the current PM. And
he got a program of idiots. He got.
I was like, oh, does only do quickie, boy. He come in quick and he gone quick.
Yeah.
God.
Oh God! He come and he going quick, boy. He quick.
He stand for nothing.
Yeah, he had nothing but to say. Listen, and he cannot deny any of the facts that was put out because we didn't make it up. Nope. We use facts. So
Anselm, Gary sent a video with a guy named Stephen Reyes.
Oh, yeah. Let me play that one.
That guy was so on point. It's unbelievable.
I don't have the whole.
He has a morning program. Yes.
I don't have the whole video, but I have part of the video. Let me play part of the video. And listen, when you're coming to, you know what? Before Horace coming, before we get step on this, let me play these two here. Oh God, we don't have enough time to play all them. Let me play this one.
Play the more important one.
We don't have enough time to play that one.
Hey, Tommy is an idiot, boy. What I'm telling.
Yeah, listen to this fella.
It's okay.
To the government of Trinidad and Tobago, as a law-abiding citizen, a mask-wearing citizen, a sanitizing, hand-washing citizen, this not really making sense. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And only doing the same thing like last year and expecting a different result. It's not making sense. It's not making sense. The rest of the world moving on with COVID. Learn to live with COVID. Same thing when AIDS come out. We feel they ban sex? No, they provide measures to live with it. They provide condoms. You understand? They're doing rapid tests. They're living with AIDS. Let us live with COVID and move on with our lives, please.
Now listen, let me go. Hey, Diana, let me go to your favorite person, market vendor, right? What? Market vendor.
Yes, it's me, market vendor here again today. Lost. What's going on in Trinidad and Tobago do at all? I mean, Trinidad and Tobago like it's one big prison these days, because as of last night, midnight, everything like it locked down in Trinidad and Tobago. A friend of mine sent me this here and tell me, Market, as of midnight last night, no restaurants and bars can be open. All malls will be closed. All places of worship will be closed. All gyms and fitness centers will be closed. All spas and beauty dispensing areas closed. Casinos, cinemas, theaters, clubs closed. Public service will operate on essential service only. And so on and so forth. Well, first of all, let me start the last one though. Public service will operate on essential service only. But I thought that was what it was. I thought public service was really an essential service. If it is essential, then I guess it could do without it, innit? Oh, lost. And look, Trinidad and Tobago, have your borders not been closed for a year or nearly a year now? So what kind of thing this is at all that going on? If the border's been closed, how come we're getting all this COVID inside there? It seems to me like you got a Ministry of National Insecurity. And it also seems to me that your borders are fairly porous. Well, I know I have water all around Trinidad and Tobago, so I guess in that regard it's porous, ain't it now? But come here. Not even worship. I can't go and pray a little bit. You can't really close all places of worship, though, because I can pray inside my house. Just FYI. You understand where Market coming from? So what are we supposed to do now? No doubles at all? No roti, huh? Not a coconut vendor around the savannah. You mean I can't go down by, Shagaramas? I can't go down Maracas and get my bacon shark and bake, whatever you want to call it. I go down by Richard or his sister, or one of them. You mean I can't go down by 𝗪𝗶𝗯𝗏 Avenue and get a little sushi? Oh, I lost that. Yeah, you're really hurting market vendor. I can't go by Trotters night and lime a little bit. Nothing so at all. Jenny's by the boulevard, nothing. Well, I want to close down Parliament too as well, because you get a lot of hot air inside there too as well. Yes. Look, you see me market vendor, it seemed to me like the fellas that in charge, like they really, the 𝗪𝗶𝘀𝗵, as the Trinnies will say, the 𝗪𝗶𝘀𝗵, I like that Trinity word real bad, the 𝗪𝗶𝘀𝗵, hear what I'm telling you. I feel that you need to get a little help from Mayor Amor Motley, because she at least, we had a second wave too as well. But we got more waves than we got down at Maracas. Yeah. On the East Coast of Barbados, you got wave after wave after wave, and yet your borders are closed. Oh, alas, I feel for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because these are people who love to party. These are people who like to get together. Trinidad and Tobago people, Trinidadians, ignorant people, them know what they got to do. Yes, all of this seems like a lot of papi show. You closing down and locking up everything. And the only people that ain't lock up is the criminals. Them, they're free to walk about and do as they want. Hey, I was only a market vendor, but let me tell you something, Skipper. I feel you can pay some real political blows for this one. Elections coming up, ain't it? Look, let me tell you something. You better get the handle on this here, because Trini don't like the money locking he up inside the house. But it's in the Royal Jail, Trinidad and Tobago, like a big institution, a big penal, and not a penal institution either, a big penal institution. I was only a market vendor. I go for now. But you have a blessed and a wonderful day. Yeah.
Look at that. You see, that fella living in Barbados. Imagine that. That fella living in Barbados. And the fella didn't even need proverbial head, boy. He really
Yeah.
Market vendor is a boss. Watch. Diana, I gotta try and get market vendor.
I have to tell Shara to get him first. Shara.
Yeah. We have to get him. We have to get him inside of here. We have to get him because look, that that fella.
But I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. I think he's a cousin of mine. Through my grandmother. Yeah. We gotta find out for sure when he come on.
So let me listen to Stephen.
We have 15 damning vessels, and that man stood on a platform yesterday at a press conference and tried to blame the partnership government for the current situation with the illegal immigrants in this country. In the middle of a pandemic. That man stand up on a platform at a conference yesterday, pointing the finger and trying to deflect and put the blame Kamla. He sat back with blame Kamla. It worked for him in the first 4 years now. So he gone back to that. This man, who 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗲, when they now take up office, say, we in charge, deal with it. All you in charge for 6 years. 6 bloody years. What have you done in the 6 years to have the border patrol, the Coast Guard working more efficiently? Nothing. That man going back to OPVs and how they get rid of the OPVs and they open up the borders. That is propaganda talk. Like propaganda talk, boy. You know what common sense tells you? Common sense tells you that if I challenge something and I go to court and I win, I was right. And the other person was wrong. The government at that time, the OPVs were defective. The radar and the guns wasn't even working. So what did they do? They said, no, we're not paying for that. We don't want that. They took it to arbitration. They took it to court. They won. They win the matter. They were awarded X amount of money. With the money, they bought, I think it's 14 or 15 damming vessels. And those vessels have been parked up in Stobbles Bay for the last 6 years. When will this man stop lying? When will he stop lying?
And you folks, it's almost 8 o'clock. We're gonna go for a quick break, and we're gonna come back. And when we come back, folks, we have a lot more in the kitty. A lot more in the kitty. Of course, it's in the village with the dark triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we got with us, you know, the outside child as well. That's Tommy. And we boy Horace gone, boy. Horace take a quick thing, Horace take a quickie, and he gone.
He walking, boy.
Broadcasted from Essex County. You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM.
You know what we want to do? This is what we want to say to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Right? We want the government to understand that the fellow was absolutely right. We cannot continue to do things that way and expect to get different results. So what I want, I want you come and tell the government what you think they should do. You tell them. I don't want to tell them.
Think it over, think it again. Listen, if you see Rash Shorty, Chalk Dust, any one of them tell them what George say. Think it over, think it again. I sit down listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Rash Shorty. So I sit down patiently listening to he. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up at Jala, is when I hear he start calling Iwa George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say, Iwa, you singing Tata. Last year he come back with the same Tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it the people does whine. The Shorty never used to treat young guys so young so crude. I will that teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over.
And that is what we want the government of Trinidad and Tobago to do, to think it over. Because currently, right, the government have absolutely 100% gotten this incorrect. But not only that, right, anytime you put out something and you have to update it, means to say that something you put out was inaccurate or was wrong. So here's the latest update from the Prime Minister's office. As Prime Minister, I respect and support the Constitution, the rule of law and due process, and I am insistent that law enforcement must act within the confines of the law. But you just tell them they could go in people's yard. you are the, just as you tell people they could go to Tobago, right? You and people will follow you blindly. If you tell people they could come to Tobago, they're going to Tobago. That is what it is. Because you are considered to be their leader. Whatever you say, they follow. Right? I'm also duty bound to point out that the laws of our country, including the Public Health Ordinance, the Public Health Regulations, the Police Service Act, and other laws, can, in certain specific circumstances, cover the enforcement and management of laws in private premises via public health officers with or without the aid of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Anytime you have to come back and update, right, when you misspoke, because you misspoke, or, as Gary said, somebody gave wrong information. I don't know. Somebody gave wrong information. And this type of behavior just continues over and over and over and over. And we here in the village, we go call out them type of behavior. Because them other radio stations in Trinidad and Tobago, them leaving that alone. Hear this one now. Hear this one. I invite a friend of mine, I'm not going to call the radio station, to come into the program to talk about exile and stranded citizens. You know what that fella tell me? That fella say, boy, Wall Street boy, me know nothing about exile and stranded citizens. Why you go come on your program to talk about that? Eh? Imagine that. You is a host of a radio station and you don't know nothing about exile and stranded citizens. You don't deserve to be a host.
You have to do his research.
Eh?
You never heard the word research?
But you're not supposed to be a host.
Yeah.
He tell me you don't know. I said, but Lord Father, please put a hand.
He's politically telling you he does not want to be involved.
Diana, thank you so very much, Diana. Thank you so much. But Diana, the man could have said, Wall Street partner, I don't want to get involved in that because I had to protect my position, and we could keep it like that. Right? We can keep it like that. And that's cool. You have no problem with that. If you don't want to come on, you don't want to come on. You don't have to come on. You understand? But when you go lose such a poor excuse and use a radio host, right? And you go talk about, I don't know nothing about that. I said, boy, look.
You remember the last show I spoke about the media in Trinidad and their role and the fact that they behave as if they are in a dictatorship. And Stefan addressed that also in one of his rants, or should I say, in his address, or his, however we want to describe what he had to say. He addressed the fact that the media in Trinidad and Tobago is at fault for not standing up, and they continue to fall down on their job because their job is to truly be the voice of the people, to be the conscience of the people. I don't know. I don't know what the media is doing, but in Trinidad and Tobago, it's not working. It's just not working. Everybody's in fear of retribution.
Fair.
For me,
fair.
Yeah, fair. I agree with that. I don't know how you can just put out stuff just like that, boy. Put out whatever you want, and regardless of what it is, boy, people just taking it and running with it, boy. Don't matter what you put out, people just running with it. Anything you put out, right? They're running with it. And that's kind of sad, boy. No critical thinking at all, boy. None. No critical thinking. Eh? But did you all hear the one with the clueless minister, Minister West? Only listen to this one. Only tell me all you understand this. Boy. I used to believe growing up in 𝗪𝗏𝗃 that in order to be a minister, you have to be very intelligent to be a minister in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe back in the 70s and the 80s.
Once upon a time, Brother Anselm. Once upon a time. Not anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I used to think that. Listen. Tell me if you even understand this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Vaccination drive. You had people having to make phone calls, and then it switched to WhatsApp. This was a moment for maybe if they had built a website, if the ministries had jumped in, maybe it would have been seamless. Were you hearing some of those criticisms, and how do you respond?
I was indeed. The Minister of Health had come to the cabinet and said, this is what we're supposed to do and this is how we're supposed to do it. And as I often do in circumstances like that, I offer the other ministers, do you need our assistance with anything? And we were told at that time that things were under control. It is only when the actual system started that we realized that there were challenges, and we have the two ministries working together to ensure that going forward, there's a smoother process.
So what I'm hearing here is that you did have the opportunity to step up and do something. So let me ask you something. Had the Minister of Health said, yes, we need you to do this, would you have been in a position to, and what would have been your plan for it?
Well, as I indicated just now, we have already, through iGovTT, which is our implementation entity, rolled out an e-appointment system, which we think could work for the Ministry of Health.
And
so that is what we would have done. We would have tested that system to see how we could adapt it for the purpose of this particular exercise. And once it worked, we would have rolled it out for that purpose. So that's what we are doing now for the next phase of vaccinations.
Okay, so the next phase of vaccinations, we may have that more streamlined.
Yeah, we are hoping to, yes.
Now, at what point do you say, I told you so? If you had listened to me.
I try not to ever say that. What I do is that I try to offer in anticipation of an issue, and if I either don't see the issue coming or it comes regardless of whether I see it or not, I go to my colleague and say, we can help with this, or we think we can help with this. Let's get together.
Lord Father, please put our hand. I listen. You know, when I saw that, I said, Jesus Christ, boy, what is Trinidad and Tobago coming to, boy?
Hey, when they call us Banana Republic, when they say we are a Banana Republic, it really resonates with instances like these.
I only understand anything that woman say, boy?
No.
It's a PNM Republic, not a Banana Republic.
Oh, yeah, Gabby, watch yourself. Watch yourself, guys.
No, wait. It's a wait now. It's a 𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗏 Republic.
There you go. It's a 𝗶𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗏 Republic.
But the thing is, regardless of who you put in there, it's the same people.
But
it's the same people. It's a people.
If I were to unleash the amount of wickedness this party has done to people in Trinidad, I'd say we'll change your mind about being a PNM.
Oh God!
If I show you physical evidence of the amount of wickedness done to our own people by this political party, he would change.
But I don't want to be a PNM, a UNC, or none, because I hear complaint on UNC, I hear complaint PNM, the way they attack me on social media. I don't, let me put it out there. Before I wanted to get back my ID card to vote. I don't want to vote anymore in Trinidad and Tobago because me don't like none of all here. None of all here. I don't like none of all here. I don't like none. I have a Barbados ID card. I go in and vote in Barbados. All you don't want to give me back me. I ain't voting in Trinidad at all. Never. I don't like none of all here. I said it. Yeah, Diana Benskin said it, and I born there. Good. All you could keep it. I don't want to vote there ever.
What is that one? You don't want the ID no more?
I don't want it. They could keep it.
What make it change your mind?
What? The way your friend P and Esther's behave, and then the way they attack me on social media and tell me I want to belong behind a garbage truck, and then the way and the way I see them just get on and the way I see them just get on in Parliament, sandboxmen,
But Diana, you have to understand that many of these people are consistent in his behavior. You ain't see
I don't want my name.
You ain't see the tone fella just come in. The tone fella just come in.
Right? Call me an idiot.
Let me put up. Where it is? I'm gonna find it. You understand? Why you worried about these type of behavior? They are consistent in their behaviors.
I don't want they will never see my finger dipping no ink for nobody. I will offer suggestions.
What?
And what? Yeah,
You see, look, Horace tone a program of idiots. Horace come in. You understand?
Never.
That is what to be expected. Don't expect any constructive information from these individuals, right? He can't come in and debate whatever we say, you know. You know what I mean? Come on, have a discussion. Say, but hey, that thing you put up there is fake news. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. Let me put it up. Let me put it up. You know, them people, you know. So they get them a post to post, right? They get them a post to post, and boy, they're sharing the post all over the place, in all them P&M groups, right? Here it is right here. Here the post. They're sharing it all over the place, boy. Because they think that this somehow, right, is all these Venezuelans coming in, and the P&M people sharing that, and I'm telling them, I say all of that is fake. Why all this? Oh, you know that's fake. Well, partner, they have to delete it from the group. They have to delete it. Because listen, I Google it and I know it's fake. Right? And them all over the place sharing it. Boy, you know what's going to that? Cherry Live. They're sharing it boy all over the place. And it's fake news. And them sharing it. Only thing them people easy, you know what I go do? I go start sending them plenty fake news for them to share it, yes? They ain't wasting no time. They're just sharing it. You know what I mean? Why are you sharing that? If you don't know, find out. Critical thinking. Right? And they're sharing it all over the place. And them, look. Them people and them boy, you know, and all I telling them, I say, all you, it's 23 years experience at the number one financial company in the world. I could help all you. With all the dotishness, all you just be doing. It's time, man. All this stop. And stop lying. Because when you lie, it have people who just fact check it. We have people who just fact check. That's what they used to do with Donald Trump, you know. Fact check. You know? And we just continue along this line, man. We just continue. We can't go on that way. We cannot.
We cannot. You know, as the commission been working on a program, and it was going to benefit Trinidad and Tobago. But with the borders being closed and all of that, we can't do nothing. They asked me about it. I can't do nothing. I cannot do anything because the borders are closed. We cannot make any moves. These people don't know, with all the foolishness that is going on with the governance, that it's affecting their well-being, because opportunities that were going to be presented to them have to be held back. They just don't know that the governance is screwing their lives up.
But Tommy, listen to this one. Trinidad is not a real place. Watch. They have a golf tournament. I don't know if they cancel it now. Sunday, May the 2nd, the Drivers' Cup 2021. A golf tournament there. And watch it. Look the names. There are some highfalutin names in there, boy. Look the names. One set of highfalutin people. And then them P&M people go make excuse and say, boy, there's only 3 people in our group. It's only this. But people can't play their sport where they can play golf. Who does play golf? Anybody from Chumaka Claventi go and play golf in Mocha? Anybody from Bitam go and play golf in Mocha? And then people say, well, hey, it's only 2 people, 3 people at that time. 5 people could assemble. Other people can't play sport, but they could go and play golf. And people actually making excuses for that, you know.
But you know, golf is an acronym for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. I didn't know that.
So you know you ain't gonna find me there.
I know that.
Hey, thanks for the information, Diana. At least we learned something new today.
But Omar said this. Omar says, well, I want to be an idiot too. Because you guys have a huge heart filled with love, no matter race. And you all work tireless for our people. I honor you guys. May God blessing always shine upon each and every one of you. Omar, thank you very kindly. That is what it is, Omar. And listener, we didn't even cuss horn. You understand? Because I don't know, like you get a horn and you come in here. I don't know.
Omar says she wants to be an idiot.
Yeah. Omar, welcome to the Idiot Club. Omar, we joining you earlier club. And anybody in the group who want to come be part of the Idiot group, please just put a thumbs up that you want to become part of the Idiot crew, right? And we want to honor people in there. No honor people. If you're going on horn, we know we're not accepting you. No honor people. Look at the names. No, Diana, this Diana, Tommy, and Gary. This is facts. This is facts. We didn't make this up. And listen to this. You know, them people bowling, the real bowling, the man put out a WhatsApp to us. What? He put out a WhatsApp telling people what going on. You know, Trinidad is a real place, boy.
I tell you, it's a bourgeois society. But if you see them, if you see Cyril children try to organize a little soccer game, or they try to organize a dominoes thing in the yard, they want to go into Cyril children yard and pester them. But the Law Association of Trinidad say, no, you can't go in there and bother them. You see? But them can go and play golf with the 1% people in the middle of in a pandemic and a lockdown. You see the bourgeois society I tell you about? Huh? You see what I tell you, Trinidad? Because of bourgeois, I call it. Yeah, I said it. Bourgeois, corrupt, bourgeois. That's what you all are. The have and the have nots. So children can't go. I can't be in the house in peace. You're going to interfere with the man in the yard, telling you about you had to put on a mask, right? And all you want to organizing a golf tournament. And who could be the caddies? I wonder who could be the caddies.
But Diana,
man, please.
The man says, further to the Prime Minister, their members, further to the Prime Minister press conference this afternoon. I am pleased to announce we have the green light to continue playing golf.
See? A bourgeois society.
Number one, group will be restricted to 5 persons. That is 4 players and 1 caddy per group. You're talking about caddy? That 1 caddy per group. Mask
and I wonder
at all times. All other COVID protocol, as previously posted, will remain in effect.
Well, here's what.
Go ahead.
99% need to organize themselves and have the little domino thing, 5 per group in the yard, wearing the mask. If the Prime Minister and them can play golf 5 per group, they could play the domino and the card in the yard.
The Prime Minister knowing this one. The fella just put
whoever. The 1% could be doing that, then the 99% could have a little group in the yard, playing the little game with the mask, 5 per group.
Nah, what's wrong with you? Anyway, in Beatham?
Yeah. Beatham and 𝗪𝗛𝗪.
Boy, all you better go and play draft or snake and ladder.
Anything. 5 per group and chat. You see what they do? They don't challenge the authority. Push the button and let me see what it is. I'm going to tell them, look. Man.
Diana, that is the point, Diana. Whatever them people take. By the way, we have some members already. Yes, Rose joining the idiot group, boy. Cindy joining something, but we get what? We have a real intelligent. What? We get the real people in the group, boy. Hey, on. What's his name again? On. Horace on. No, it's Ton. Well, I thought the man name was Horn, yes? My mistake, boy. I changed the man name to On. Anyway, Horace on. We are real people joining up in the group, boy. You want to join in? Horace, follow thing in the channel tell if you want to join us. We are real intelligent people who are joining.
Yeah, we'll give him president of the idiot group.
Yeah, you gonna make him president. No, we can't make him president. No, he died too high.
But he the one that came up with the name, so you know.
Oh yeah, he's the one come up with the name. Hey, but that's it. If you're playing golf, you're good to go.
So
if you're playing 3-a-side football, 3 on one side and 3 on the other side, nah. That's poor people's sport.
Yep.
You can't play that.
And they need to print this and keep it in the house. So when the police come, right? Hey, look, these people are allowed to play golf, but we can't play a card game and we table 5 per people, wearing a mask in we yard. That's what they need to push the authority, challenge them, and let them know that hey, we're good for the gander, good for the goose.
Dana, you just give me an idea there, you know. I think what they should do, 10 yards in 𝗪𝗏𝗃, should play golf in the yard with 4 people and a caddy.
Yeah.
And they should play golf in the yard, make sure they have on a mask, make sure they have on a face mask, and play golf in the yard.
That's
right.
And
Let me see the
print this and put it up. Print this and put it up. When the police come, hey, look.
Yeah.
They said that they're allowed to play, man. We adhering to their protocol.
Yeah.
Hire caddy, but drop it down to 4 people. And let me see what the police are going to do. And print the law association, hold that article from the paper and have it there where the law association says, nah, you can't come in people's yard and bother them. Let me see what will happen. You have to push the button. Stand up for your rights. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Stand up.
But Diana, why is Trinidad and Tobago a country that whatever the party tells the followers just follow, whether it's UNCP and whatever it is.
It's probably a cult.
Many of them follow blindly without thinking that, boy, I wonder, that don't make sense, boy. Something they wrong, man. That just don't make sense. Right?
Let me respond. Let me respond to you. How come Bajans don't follow 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 blindly?
Well, she only doing one set of good thing, would rather follow blindly. When you're doing plenty good thing, you're not follow blindly. when you're doing a lot of good things, you have to follow. You have to follow nothing blindly. She doing plenty. 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 locking down the place for a year and people starving. 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 locking people out of Barbados and they can't come back home, the citizens. 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 doing them kind of thing. Right?
Keep on talking.
Right? Many things, as a matter of fact, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 want to make sure her people is in the position so they could strive in this pandemic.
Okay.
Right?
And the video you showed where the young man said they learn to live with AIDS. Right? They have to learn to live with COVID. You got to move forward. And they're peddling fear. They got the people in fear in the citizens outside. Gonna bring in this fear and that is in here and they pitting citizen against citizen. That is what they've been doing. They're peddling in fear. And you have a parliament member referring to citizens as little people and referring to this thing as an inconvenience. That hurt me. I was like, wow. This young lady, suffered immensely. Zahir, he came back and his lungs collapsed due to the stress. And then he had to be re-hospitalized. Gary had to step in. And that's an inconvenience. And referring to those people that are suffering as little people. You, Minister Hines, boy, I tell you, boy, I hope the people remember those words come 2025, that all is little people. Y'all are little people, they go come around in your neighborhood, knocking on your door, wanting a vote, Remember telling me, hey, I's a little people, You call me a little people. You lock out my cousin. You lock out my nenen. You lock out my tanty. Couldn't come back home. Woman father dead. And she barely make it back home for the funeral. Man dead and gone. She ain't see she father for the last. This is what this government is doing. Come on, man. You have to learn to live with this. If you can't manage the people, how are you going to open your borders and manage people coming in? You're locking down everything. People done catching the nenen already and the tantan and everything else. What you expect people to do? You take confiscating goods from the poor, disenfranchised black people. What you expect they are going to do now? What do you go and then you want to go to their yard now and charge them or remove them because they're not wearing a mask? What kind of society is Trinidad disintegrating into? I'm glad the Law Association stepped up. I was waiting. I was like, wait, ain't nobody going to speak for my people? Come on. I need to stop with this. Otherwise, you're going to have riots down there, There's so much people can take, and then they lash out.
No, we
then you really gonna have problem on your hand.
We don't want them to riot though.
I don't want them to answer them. But if you look, you don't have no work. They done depressed already. You're locking them down, and then you're coming in my yard and you're further putting restraints on me. People are gonna lash out and slam. They're only human beings. You don't want them to riot. No, I don't want them to riot. What do you think gonna happen?
We go find a way. We go find a way in order for us to do it, and hopefully it doesn't cause any kind of severe damages to anything. You know,
and they're snatching their goods away from them, and they're trying to make a living. There's so much. Look at what happens here in the United States. What they do? They take to the streets and they march and they do. And what do you think? You think they're gonna? You think those people in the areas I'm talking about are going to sit down for long and then they're going to like, okay, I go take this for. You think that's gonna happen? And they're watching 𝗪𝗶𝗃 Avenue getting developed.
But listen to this, Diana. listen to this fella about the Brazilian spike. It's a really intelligent Trinidadians, you know, boy. Listen to this fella.
A true mystery was recently solved when the health minister announced that the first reported case of the Brazilian strain of COVID was found in a Venezuelan migrant. Seeing that Venezuela and Brazil share a porous border and they're currently having a spike, I'm sure that this news came as an absolute shocker to everyone. But we can't yet know if the person came in legally or illegally, matters of national security and all. Either way, when exactly would they have come in legally with a new strain, seeing as our borders have been closed for over a year? And if they came in illegally, how exactly does contact tracing work there? Do they just tell you the other 20 people they broke the law with while stacked tightly on a ship? Do they just give up their smugglers? I wonder if they all wore masks on the trip across. All of this comes just about a week after we were told, don't link COVID with illegal immigration. And while I understand you do not want to cause a panic, and you do not want people to become more hateful or prejudiced, if you are not the priest or parent of the nation, but just a politician, what we want from you aren't moral lessons. It's good, honest governance. And good governance is a moral lesson enough for me.
Yeah. Look, listen. What? Truth to power, man. Truth to power. What?
Call us the market vendor. Lost.
At least we know there are still some decent people who thinking.
Absolutely correct. But listen to this. This fella now is a comedian. Listen to this fella. He's a comedian. Listen to this one now. He's a comedian.
Okay, good morning, Usa. I'm going to try and stay calm for this one, But I want all you to tag Rowan Sinanan, Dr. Keith Rowley, Gary Griffith, and all the senior officers, police officers, and licensing officers. You understand? I want all of them to make sure and send this for them, because like all these people I call here, and Mr. 𝗪𝗪𝗃 too, like all they don't understanding what happening in this country. Look, I just saw a video the other day, 2 days ago, with Alexander and the whole upper wing of Trinity Mall with all the stores closed. Countless people, businesses have been closed down. You understand? People catching their ass to make ends meet when the day come. Now, I'm not saying this to say that this is an excuse to break the law. Drivers, all they try all their best to follow the rules. You understand? Try all your best to follow the laws. But I'm making this point to show these people that the country is going through something. Not just the country, the world, where people are losing their job. I myself have a work. Plus, I work taxi on the weekend. Plus, I do my comedy thing just to mind a family with 3 children and a wife. It's not easy. And I know people who are worse off than me. And you all have these officers coming out here with these ticket books and just using no discretion. I don't know if it's the seniors selling them, these rookies just share ticket. I don't know what benefit they're getting. And they will try to argue that they're just doing the job. Excuse if all these boulders are vexed. They will try to say they're just doing their job. But your job requires to have discretion too. And you're all working for a salary. And all they must know the average salary a man working for. They could do a quick assessment. Or they can't be watching a man and just want to give a man a ticket because you ain't like how we talk to you and give him 2 tickets, then 3 tickets, walk down, look for the next one. Or just come out here with attitude to deal with people and just share ticket. We only want these people to get this money from. Some of these tickets, the mass ticket already even have things in place for it, but only the officers and them out here just playing mad. Officers out here who on the road, only have some discretion. People are losing their jobs. Oh God. All they can just come out here and want to give man $1,000, and on top of that points, some people catching the little ass. You know, they can't do everything on the car at one time because they have to feed their family. It's all kind of situations. All they do just come out here and just share ticket and just listen. The world is going through something right now. The seniors in this license office and in the police service and all they talk to all the officers, no man. They're just out here just because all they get them ticket book and point, they can just think and talk to people they want, do what they want, just share ticket. Oh God. And citizens all they try and follow the laws now because they're coming for we. They're coming for we, they're attacking we, and there's oppression. You can't do nothing. You can't even ask a police a question, try to understand why this happening, try to explain to them, well, why you probably see me fixing the man. Nothing. They just want to give ticket. Boy, you're pressing people, boy. What going on with all you? All that don't hurt, hour. All they working for 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. Do the maths. Is not everybody working for that? The average person working for $4,000, $5,000. Average. What all they doing if you get a man through ticket? Oh God. One time a little warning, one time a little discretion, jet officers, boy. I'm not trying to say for people to break the law. I'm not trying to make excuses. You understand? But I'm just trying to say the country is going through something right now. And officers, licensed officers, police, all they have a little discretion and have a little heart. Because people are trying to feed you. All they wicked, boy. All they wicked. And when they talk now, all they want to see, man, and want to play like all they want to intimidate people and victimize them because people speak out. Come on. All these rookie officers on motorbike who just ride around and looking in people's car. Or let's stop that shit for mass. What you feel? You feel $1,000 easy to get? When you go there to work taxi, I go there Saturday to pull a few trip. I work half day. When I check my money, one something. What the hell all I feel it is, boy? People suffering in this country. Have some heart, officers, licensed officers, police, all they have some heart, all they wicked.
You hear that?
Everybody abusing the power. From the top, it starts at the top, and the top abusing the power. Look at how they're treating us. Look at the price gouging, all the other stupidness with this damn exemption. It's abuse of power from the top to the bottom. If the top doing it, the bottom will do it. That's what's going on in this country, in that country, because I'm not there.
You see,
Anselm, you hear the frustration in that man's voice?
He's frustrated.
But he has a sense of containment. Now I don't want to say what I want to say, but there may be others who don't have that sense of containment. Yeah, you understand what I'm trying to tell you? And they're not going to give a SHIT. You know, I tell you. And if you get a band of them that don't care, that is where the rioting will come from. He is just one. He contained himself. He went in the car and he spit what he had to say. But the people who are going to come to that frustration level, and that's it. And I said it before. People they catching the tail, they're suffering, they're being oppressed, and I don't understand. And the police and thing fall under which ministry? Your friend?
Ministry of National Insecurity.
Thank you.
Every day the bucket go into the well. One day the bottom will drop out.
Talk your talk, Tommy. Talk your talk. But how much you think they go take? How much you think people could take? And then they go bust.
But Diana and Tommy and Gary, all you know Trevor says, right? All you know the fella, the madman Trevor says. Eh?
I hear he's nominated for
Minister. Yeah.
All you listen to Trevor says. Yeah, listen to Trevor.
Oh God, Robert, you close on the church, oh God. You see all them pastors and them robbing people? Oh, you close down the church, you can rob people again. I see it coming. And you will know that coming. Coming. I see it coming. Oh, yeah. This one is for the pastors and them. I see it coming long time. Oh, yeah, no, Papa Chok, they want to carry up people again. Oh, no more church, no more robbery. No more church, no more robbery. Oh, all the pastors and them. All the robbing different pastors. Oh, and you will order, huh, Papa? Oh, and you will order. And all the carry up people again. Oh, all the collection, all the 10%, all the 100%, all the balls now. Oh, a new pastor coming. Oh God, I see all you crying. Oh God, big pastor falling down. Oh God, look at all your ass now. All you feel what poor people feeling. Oh, you close all the church. Oh, ministers, all look at all they ask to you. All they give people them nothing. Oh, you close all the church. Oh, yeah. I gone.
That's the way you get it.
You always do something silly, though.
Hey, all you see the difference. All you see the difference when all you come in the village. All you get facts. All you get information. And all you get Comedy Central too.
I hope real people listening to this in Trinidad.
Oh God. Yes. Man say, I'm coming for all the ministers too. Oh God. 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗴, boy. 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗴. Just say 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗹 minister. Who else? Hey, Gary.
What's that? Minister of Health. Somebody said when they see Alexander become the sword leader, they say, never going to become Minister of Health. Watch this.
Oh God.
It's really amazing, bro.
Yeah, I want to play. I want to play a quick song. Diana, which one of them songs you want me to play?
The last one, which is it?
Integration or Madman Rant?
Madman Rant.
Here we go. Yeah, we won't hear that enough there. Let's try this other one, Diana. Integration.
Well, I said Madman because you just play a Madman.
Oh yeah.
You ain't get the drift, huh?
Yeah. Let me see if I get it over here. Hold on. Let me see. David Rudder. D-A-V-I-D. David. Let me see if I get over here. R-U-D-D-E-R. Let me see. David Rudder. Here we go. Tell me if you guys hearing this, right? Because I'm playing this from the system.
But we were hearing it just now.
You were hearing it?
Yeah, before. Yeah.
Before, but not now.
All right. Here we go. We made to play that one because 𝗪𝗹𝗹𝗴 is the madman.
He may not be so mad enough. He may not be so mad enough.
That fella ain't so mad and shooting. What do you think about it? Yeah? You know?
Just the consensus. Not me. I'm not a psychiatrist.
But listen, I have this one here. Let me just put this up here. Check this out. Oh, you see that? That's Chinese until 11:59. They're lining up to go and get Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh
God! That is not a real place, man.
So what happened at 12 o'clock?
Well, I mean, I guess KFC got to close. KFC got to close, so people line up. Maybe once you're online, you're good to go. You know?
Oh boy. They had to bring them inside, but then they had to social distance.
Something. You know something though? Gary, you there? I wanted to put this up there. And so think about this, yeah. This is what the Minister of Foreign Affairs here brung TNT to get some of the 60 million vaccine from the US, right? And then the Prime Minister said, no, this is in jeopardy because of the contamination in the Baltimore factory. That had nothing to do with the 60 million. I mean, I'm telling you, them fellas and them, you know what? I, for the life of me, boy, I can't understand what it's like. If I don't know, boy, like it becomes contagious, man. Like brung TNT to get some of the 60 million vaccine from the US, right? So if the 60 million was coming from that factory, right? It's no longer available, right? But that's not true. It was never coming from that factory because that factory now is doing Johnson & Johnson. So yeah, I don't know, boy. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what to say, boy. I don't know what to say.
Don't say nothing.
I don't know what else to say, man. Seriously.
Say nothing because we know damn well that he's not telling the truth.
But Tommy, Gary, and Diana, isn't it easier to tell the truth or don't say nothing at all? Isn't it tell the truth or just leave it alone?
You see,
like, go ahead.
You got to know the truth before you can tell the truth, right?
He knows the truth. He knows the truth. He has to say something. So he's just saying whatever he feels will sound good and he can sell.
Whatever. So he's just trying to persuade the people. Look, my friend Paul just joined. Paul, welcome, Paul.
Hello.
Also, welcome, Paul. Good night. No, we just put everybody up there. Cindy says laughing out loud. Rose says she making an idiot sack. Rose, make sure and send one to us FedEx. You know, right? Send one FedEx. Maybe Diana, you can answer the question on the screen. You know, I don't know, Tony. Maybe you can answer that.
How can you?
Define what is the truth and what is the truth. What is the truth? Well, okay. let me say something very simple. Right? Paul, this is what you do. Look at the video that with what the Prime Minister said. Read the article with what he addressed, and you will find the truth. It's very simple. It's not that difficult, right? You listen to what he said. Nobody didn't edit the audio, the tape. That's exactly what he said. And then you go to the source, which is two articles: an article on April 6th, an article updated on April 30th, and it will tell you it had nothing to do with 60 million worth of which Brown talked about, and the Prime Minister spoke about that as well. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. That is the truth. Rose said, okay. Rose, what does that mean? Rose gave four laughing face. I ain't good with them bitmojis, no? I ain't that good at all. Huh?
She's going to make the socks.
Oh, Rose, whatever you do, you have to make the sack ready. And you have to put
no.
I'm finished, Diana. I'm finished. You have to put a red sunglasses on the sack. Okay?
No, Rose.
Rose says she will send it. She sent it. And make sure you send it FedEx. I don't send it TT Post because it didn't go reach.
Answer your bad.
Send it FedEx. Because if you send it TT Post, it might end up in Venezuela. It might end up in some other place. So yeah. So you know, there is so much. There is so much that we as a people have to start to understand that we have to get it right. And this exile and stranded citizens fiasco, the government have got it absolutely incorrect. And you know, Tommy, I want to ask you a question, Tommy, because I can't ask Diana, nor can I ask Gary. Tommy, do you believe that this government is one of the worst governments in the history of the Caribbean?
I'm sure. I am believe. Believing is, like a good friend of mine told me today, believing is, it starts with B, lie, V.
Diana, Tommy, you know
Either
this
you
thing?
know or you don't know. If you don't know and you believe, it may be a lie that you're trying to propagate.
You know this program is taped, right, Tommy?
Well, if it's taped, it's taped. I have nothing to be in fear of because I don't depend on anybody else for my existence right at this point.
Well,
I fear God.
Well, you see, the reason why I didn't want to ask Gary, because Gary go rubber stamp that. You know what I mean? I want to ask Gary, that's why I asked Tommy. Tommy, you really believe that in truth, boy?
Gary will give you a rude awakening.
You know, what happens is that it hurts me. It hurts me to say that the prime minister before was a more sensible person than this prime minister. It hurts me.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that even though a lot of malfeasance took place under her watch, she seemed to be a much more sensible person than this person that is in the prime minister's throne right now.
See why I don't want no ID card to vote? I voted for nobody.
Truth, according to Ghost and Heavy, the truth is unbelievable.
I voted for nobody.
More compassionate too, man. Listen to me. You don't have to be the brightest person in the world, but you have to have some compassion towards your people. You have to have some compassion towards your people. I myself supported her, but I have some strong disagreements with her. But at the same time, how she treated my people was a hell of a lot better. My people was taken care of under her. When I say my people, I mean all Trinidadians. All Trinidadians was taken care.
Trinbagonians.
Well, Trinbagonians, everybody. In the sense that I saw where they were making progress in the service delivery towards our people. Down to the man on the street. She removed the things that oppressed our people. They removed those VAT unnecessary tax that was suppressive to the ordinary man. They were helping the people. There was a lot of mischief, a lot of propaganda, and there were also a lot of corruption. I'm not denying that all government has corruption.
A lot of missteps. A whole bunch of missteps took place, but at the same time, at the end of the day, she took care of her people.
I think she had the best interest at heart, even though she had the wrong people around her. She had the best interest at heart. You know.
So guys, let me just do quick public service. Some public service. We have 19 vaccination sites in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me just get rid of that so we can see that. We have 19 vaccination sites, because we have the ERHA, the NCHRA, NWRHA, the TRHA, and the SWRHA for 29 locations across the country. We're just designating COVID-19 vaccinations across Trinidad and Tobago. So you have about 29 locations, all right? And today, we had, today wasn't a banner day in Trinidad and Tobago as far as COVID-19 is concerned. We have the statistics. The statistics don't look very good at all. We have, I'm gonna bring that up on my phone here because I know people can see that there, but I can't see it too good. Let me see here. All right, let me get it right here. The COVID-19 statistics today, we have 248 new positive cases, 11,070 total positive cases, 2,500 patients have recovered, 2,355 total active positive cases, 171 deaths. Total patients in step-down facilities is 22. Total patients in state quarantine is 236. They have done 42,455 people have been vaccinated. Right? Total patients in hospital is 2,001. And the total person tested is 131,927. That's as of today, Saturday, May 1st.
And Slim,
yeah,
the statistics, if you look at the statistics, it will state this and state that. But when you really analyze the situation, you will find that a small percentage of the people that test positive are going to be really sick and get really sick, and even a smaller percentage is going to be unfortunately losing their lives to COVID-19. But just to flash back a little, I saw somebody, I think it's PS, did post that that the past administration before this administration was the weakest opposition, and I think they may be right in that, because a strong opposition would have gotten our situation under control a long time ago. They have to be a very weak opposition not to be able to convince the public that this is being mismanaged.
But Tommy, we ain't asked nothing about the opposition. We know where the opposition is. We know how you take that bait, so man.
Yeah, I took it because it is true that the mismanagement situation, if we had a good opposition, they would have been able to convince the population that their affairs are being mismanaged, especially in this pandemic situation. This particular situation has been mismanaged grossly.
Yes, absolutely. And let me welcome Edison Prince. I don't know, I'm not sure if this is the first time Edison Prince is in, but Edison Prince says, well said, sir. She was. I think who that might be a response to. But guys, let's do this quickly, right? What we're going to do, it's almost to the top of the hour. We're going to go for a quick break, folks. It's in the village with the dark triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. What we're going to do, we're going to give you a quick song, and then we're going to go for a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and then we are going to wrap up here in the village on WZYE 95.9 FM. Let's get Integration by McGruff. We'll be right back.
This man say that there are rumors going around in Trinidad and Tobago that this country is a racial country. But me don't agree with that at all. Because look in Caroni, they just plant Creole rice. So me is saying that this country racial. We just live in love. It's a love with we. Rum shop, cricket, football, all of we just be together. As a matter of fact, we just live in harmony. It's about harmony, it's about harmony. And they have a whole saying. They say birds of a feather, but they say, you are tight tongue, partner. But be careful what you're saying, eh? Anyhow, the name of this song, ladies and gentlemen, is one you have to listen to. It's called Integration. And the singer, McGruff. Bring him on with a nice round of applause. Integration. Oh, yeah.
WZYE 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County. You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM.
This man say that there are rumors going around in Trinidad and Tobago that this country is a racial country. But me don't agree with that at all. Because look in Caroni, they just plant Creole rice. So me is saying that this country racial. We just live in love. It's a love with we. Rum shop, cricket, football, all of we just be together. As a matter of fact, we just live in harmony. It's about harmony, it's about harmony. And they have a whole saying. They say birds of a feather, but they say, you are tight tongue, partner. But be careful what you're saying, eh? Anyhow, the name of this song, ladies and gentlemen, is one you have to listen to. It's called Integration. And the singer, McGruff. Bring him on with a nice round of applause. Integration. Oh, yeah. This foreign reporter says she can't understand. So much different race in this land, flocking together as one. It's Syrian flocking with Indian, Indian flocking with the African. Birds of a different feather, flocking together. Spanish flocking with Chinese, Chinese flocking with Portuguese. Birds of a different feather, flocking together. As a lady in this country, you could flock with anybody. Birds of a different feather, flocking together. So if you pass and you see some Chinese flocking with me, so bother to ask questions. That is integration. African, flocking together. Syrian, flocking together. Indian, flocking together.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Global.
Yeah, Dana picked that song. Dana, who you
I just do my research for the show.
Well, yeah, boy, it's integration, boy. Oh God. And I don't know what I like that one.
With a different feather.
Birds of a feather, they're flocking together. Well, all of these birds of a feather on the show. Look, all of these different, we flocking together.
Yeah, we flocking together. No doubt about
I's
it.
a Bajan, a piece of Trini, Gary's a Indian, Anselm is a Frenchman. I ain't know who you is, and we all flocking together.
No, wait. No. I's a PNM. So me's a PNM. Diana, use a non-PNM UNC, right? And Gary's a UNC.
Everybody.
UNC slash what Gary?
Everybody.
I am a Trini. I am a Trini.
Oh God, yeah.
But
you
no allegiance, and I am no diehard supporter and nobody. I would lend support where I feel it is best, and I will withdraw where I see necessary. You know,
I's a Bajan.
He's a Bajan.
I
Before we go, right?
committed to my people and in defense of my people.
Before we go, right, I want to give you guys 2 episodes of non-news. Take a quick listen.
Also in the news, a woman was having dinner yesterday evening and she had to be hospitalized after she had roti and the bygone choked her. In other news, police arrested a young man for filming ducks in a private farm in 𝗏𝗏𝗏. According to police, when they questioned the man why he was filming the ducks, the man said he was making a documentary. In other news, an old man lost his false teeth and took his wife to the gynecologist in an effort to retrieve it.
Oh God.
In other news, police arrested a young man at a supermarket in San Fernando for thieving. According to police reports, the young man thieved a pack of salt and a pack of battery. Police charged him for assault and battery. In other news now, scientists in Trinidad and Tobago invented a machine to catch thieves. In 1 hour in Canada, the machine catch 20 thieves. In half an hour in the United States, the machine catch 15 thieves. In 5 minutes in Trinidad, they thief the machine.
That's a real country. That's a real country.
Anselm, send them for me. Send them for me. Oh,
Yeah, hey, listen, it'll be so much work to make the show into bringing news, bringing some joke, I mean, I mean, Trinidad is not a real place, you know.
A TFT machine.
The TFT machine in 5 minutes. The TFT machine. Oh God! Well,
But
yeah.
hear this one. Hear this one. Hear how smart Trini is. So they was going to execute a Trini, a Bajan, and a Jamaican. So the chair, you know, they're gonna put him in the electric chair. So the Bajan come out first. So he sit down in the chair, and then the executioner dropped his hand, and you know, Bajan's supposed to fry, but he ain't fry. But according to the law, you can't execute him again. So the executioner said, "Well, what happened? The Bajan ain't fry." He said, "Boy, go and get out of here. You're lucky." He said, "Boy, gone to the chicken." He calling the Jamaican, "Hey, sit down in the chair there, boy." Drop his hand. He said, Jamaican look around, get him. He said, "But what happened? He ain't dead." He said, "All right, you belong with it. We can't do it again." The smart Trini come in and said, "Oh, they making all this stupid now. You ain't see the damn chair and plug in."
You get executed. You get fried. He think he's smarter than everybody else, right? And he get fried. You know, I mean.
Oh dear.
Of course, you know what we try to do. We try for you to. Oh, let me play this last one before I go. Look, this last one before.
Just look at that big smile on his face now. Why are they treating people stupid so? What you seen is your boy J-Melly Entertainer here, and earlier I saw this picture and many others just like it, and I get triggered, you know. Now don't get me wrong, this person and many others free to spend their money how they want, but it has hurt my heart as a citizen of this nation every time I see how stupid treating people as panic buy every time the 1% business going and shut down for a month. I know, let's see it, boy. The long lines and them, the car piling up outside the business place. For what, boy? All they never eat this thing before? Or they just like making these people and them rich. I'm telling you this, I am sure it have a rumor man with suits and ties that is just be in a room laughing at all of we. I sure the one thing that has hurt me and puzzled me at the same time is that we don't be this enthusiastic to support our local business. So I mean, it's a Brilliant, it's a Island Bowl, it's a the Monterey, it's a Cabin, and all they're going mad for this. Come now, man, Trinidad, I say it once and I'm going to say it again. Where you spend that money can actually uplift somebody. If you don't want to take my word for it, walk in a local food place in your area and ask the owner, "Hey, how are you and how is sales going?" You're going to see for yourself. Hear the scene. If you actually enjoyed this video, kindly leave a like and a share. And in the comment section, you are dropping your favorite business place and giving me your thoughts on this whole situation. I go in and do exactly what it is I talking about in this video. It's your boy J-Melly Entertainer, and all you really find this shit does taste good.
Oh,
you know,
God.
I know there's a good message in that too, you know. I mean, even though he's an entertainer, there's a great message in that thing, you know. But I have to say, guys, that we continue to bring the information like it is. We continue to speak truth to power. Many people, there are many people, and it's going to be on both sides of the political divide. You know, maybe something is going to happen with the opposition, and we're going to have to take a side different to what the opposition has taken. And the thing that would make things easier is for us to have dialogue, right? You know, now the opposition comes on the program without any problem, right? The PNM has decided not to send anyone on the program, and that's okay. That's okay. But you know, if things
They don't
change,
like you, that's why.
I think they like me, man. I think they like me, but
they can't handle the truth, brother. They can't handle the
Gary,
truth.
that's what it is. I think they like me, but they can't handle the truth. Because today, when I put up the post with Dr. Rowley, and I put up the two posts on April 6th and April the 30th, and them PNM people like, boy, you have a vendetta against the PNM. You have something against the PNM, right? The Mazin game something. And I'm like, you know, they totally overlook the substance of the story, right? In order to attack. Because that is all they know. It's like when we partner Horn. Was it Horn or Thorn?
Tone.
It's Tone.
Tone.
All right, Tone. When we partner, Tone come in. You understand? You know, they can't think clearly because what has happened is that they have graduated from Novocaine to is it Livocaine or Livocaine? What is it one? I just forgot the name of the
PNM, it's the PNM Baba's juice, boy. It's strong. It's strong.
No, what come mean drink none of that?
Huh?
It's red sorrel.
You've been away
Red
too
sorrel.
long. You've been away too long.
Yeah. All right. So, folks, of course, we thank you so much for joining us. We thank you for all our loyal people who joined us tonight. That we continue to thank you and we continue to fight for those exiled and stranded citizens. We want to welcome Edison Prince. Edison Prince, welcome. I think you were here before. We welcome Paul Rose. Thank you so much for joining us. Cindy J, of course. Cindy J is very loyal. And Cindy said hello to you, Tommy. Just so you know. Omar, welcome as well. Keish, we welcome you as well. Steve Trini Lopez, and all the other ones who have joined us tonight. Thank you so very kindly for joining us because Navila joined us very early in the game.
You know who that is? That's our Apple engineer.
Yeah. No, that's the Apple engineer, man. And Zerisha joined us from Zoba. Zerisha's name is Zo. Zerisha is Zoba. Yeah. Joel. Joel, I apologize. Joel, I apologize. Joel. Gary, let me prompt your name like I'm from Chumakak now, man. You know in Chumakak.
Add some French into it.
Yeah, you know when you're from Chumakak, you pronounce all kind of thing backwards, all kind of thing. You know, I went through.
You don't want to get the person angry though. Joel.
No, if I can't say it correctly, listen to this. When I was in college, for 4 years in college, I never said the number 3.
Oh Lord.
Because I couldn't say 3. So every time I would say 1, 2, 4, or 5, I never, because I couldn't say it correctly. All right, so I'll call her Joseph. Miss Joseph.
I too had to learn the hard way about 3 and 3. Trust me, I took enough heat.
Nah, I just used to ignore it. I never said that. I serious. 4 years of college. Never said 3.
And in broadcast journalism school, my R's. They had to work. They worked on me with my R's.
Well, let me tell you something. We train us at 3, and now we're going to be.
That's 3. And I just tell my classes them now. I say, let me tell you something.
Every trainee know that.
In my class, there's certain words I have a very difficult time pronouncing. So if you hear me say 3, I might tell you the number, or if I say 3, I will tell you the one that grows. It's like one time I went to class. Listen, I might bite my tongue. One time I went to the class and I tell them Cripsy Cream. It's Krispy Cream, right? Krispy Cream. I call it Krispy Cream. And the people in the class laugh and they say, one person put up that it's the professor. It's not crispy, it's Cripsy. I had it all messed up. But folks, of course, we want to thank you so very kindly for joining us. Right? We're going to in order now. And what we're going to do, right? Eddie, we're going to rotate how we close the program. So we're going to start with Diana, we're going to start with you. Then we're going to go with Gary, and then we're going to go with Tommy. And then I'm going to do it. And then we're going to rotate every program. Okay?
No problem.
So go ahead, Diana.
Okay. As we were talking about fair, as you guys, talk during the program, I write my closing statement. So I'm going to base it on fair. Fear is a disease that eats away at logic. All animals experience fear. Human beings, perhaps most of all. Fear alerts us to dangers that threaten our well-being and sometimes our lives. Sensing fear, we respond by running away, by hiding, or by preparing to ward off danger. The people who have the effrontery to rule us call themselves our government. Understand this basic fact of human nature. During this pandemic, they have exploited fear and cultivated it. I personally notice globally that a warrior element of religion and government have emerged during this pandemic, and they both are using fear as a tool of control. Religion is putting people in fear of their souls, government putting people in fear of their lives and livelihood. Fear, however, is a depreciating asset. While it may be easy to persuade the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that the stranded citizens will be the conduit of COVID-19, it may be hard to fix them in that persuasion. If the government of Trinidad and Tobago continues to cry the fear the stranded citizen wolf cry too often, eventually I hope some sensible citizens within the borders awake and discount the government's attempt to frighten them about the stranded citizens and further realize that the spread of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago is homegrown. This is your poet, author, and motivational speaker, Diana Benskin, bidding you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again.
Gary?
Oh, yes, I'd like to say good night, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us. If you are stranded and you need help, the number is 201-932-6161. Also, I want to reiterate the extension of invitation to those in Trinidad and Tobago who has a story to tell to come on board and let us know, make contact with us, give us some feedback on what's going on in the country. We would like to hear your side of the story. We are here to tell the truth and to bring to the facts to the people. So with that, I would like to say good night.
Thank you, Gary. Go ahead, Tommy.
Well, we are back again, speaking truth to power as we keep it real here in the village. And I know that the most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity. And those are the words of Amelia Earhart. I wish the media would act, the media in Trinidad and Tobago, that is, would act and do the right thing to edify the people so that they would realize that they are being taken advantage of. And that's the only way we're going to get some true results from those who are in charge of governing our affairs. Again, thanks to you and Anselm and to the rest of the dark triplets and to the audience and to the viewers for being and staying in the village with us as we continue the fight. Pleasant good night and a good weekend to each and every one.
Thank you, Tommy. And of course, folks, I tell you, from where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall, so that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. And Theodore Roosevelt says, patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president, prime minister, or any other public official, save exactly to the degree in which he himself stands by the country. It is patriotic to support him insofar as he efficiently serves the country. It is unpatriotic not to oppose him to the exact extent that by inefficiently or otherwise he fails in his duty to stand by the country. In either event, it is unpatriotic not to tell the truth, whether about the president, prime minister, or anyone else. And I added in a few things there. That was the words of Theodore Roosevelt. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so very much for joining us. You could have been many other places, but you joined us here tonight, and we thank you. And we want to go out tonight with another one of our anthem songs. And this one is by Gypsy. Take a listen. And we're going to see you. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Take a listen. Later.
Oh, yes. Somebody help. Come and put a hand. Come and wipe away the blight and see what the plight that befall the man of this land. What's going on here? I would like to know why the whole world is in a turmoil. So it look as if we fire God from the job and give the work to the Beelzebub. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. If you don't have to never like understand. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. If you don't never like understand. Like if Satan in control of running the land. Hey man. Oh man. There's only wars and rumors of wars. Incurable disease go from sea to seas and they happen without a cause. Strange phenomena now happen everywhere. The callousness of this world has the world in fear. Politics and weaponry have taken its toll. They have the whole world out of control. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. It don't happen here, well I can understand like it. Oh yes man. Have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The king of the devil I can understand like if Satan in control of running the land. Oh man. To get at ease, we turn to religion, but then in a quest to do our best we end up in real confusion. Some religious leaders so phony and vain, all our religious morals to go down the drain. Their materialism make them feel them is Lord, robbing the world in the name of God. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing of going on here, well I can understand that the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing of going here, well I can understand like he sit down in control of running the land. Oh man. Let's take control. Let's reconstruct the world. Sift out all parasites, phonies and blights. What is wrong? Let us make it right. Stop this social, moral and religious decay. Our world wasn't meant to be this way. For heaven's sake, let's not fall for the seat. Put God back in the driver's seat. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing going on here, well I can understand. The devil have a hand in running the land. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing what's going on here, man, I can understand. Like if Satan in control of running the land. Oh man. Oh man. The devil have a hand. The devil have a hand. Oh yes. In running the land. The devil have a hand. The devil have a hand. The thing what happen here I can understand. Like the Satan in control of running the land. We quarrel and we fight. We ain't doing right. Oh yes. The devil have a hand in running the land. We forget what's good. Not doing the things we should. Ah yes man. The Satan in control of running the land. I can't understand why. I can't understand.